All right, so today we're diving into a viral kids video script. It's from a channel called SparkQuarkKids. And, on the surface, it looks like just a silly prank with some cups and string. But if you look just a little bit closer, you'll see it's actually a fascinating piece of digital engineering. So let's deconstruct the formula and figure out what makes this kind of content so incredibly effective. I mean, right from the very start, this thing just hits you with this incredible energy. The script doesn't just say make a sound. No. It says twang, yell, echo. That's not a description, it's an experience. And that hyped up, kind of chaotic tone, well, that's our first big clue, that this whole thing is meticulously designed to grab and hold a very, very specific audience. So think of us as digital anatomists for a few minutes. We're going to dissect this script piece by piece and really find the skeleton that holds this whole viral machine together. Okay, so here's our roadmap. We're going to start with that all-important 10-second hook. Then we'll dive into the do-it-yourself activity that's really at the core of it all. We'll uncover the sort of hidden layers of science and social sharing. And finally, we're going to put it all together to lay out the complete kid content formula. And this is the key thing to remember. We're looking at something that's way more than just a prank. It's a carefully crafted content machine. We're moving past the what and diving straight into the how. The mechanics that turn this simple idea into guaranteed engagement. All right, section 2, the 10-second hook. In the age of the infinite scroll, those first few seconds are absolutely everything. And let me tell you, this script is a masterclass in making kids, and probably some adults, stop and watch. So just look at the language they use. It's not let's make a craft. No, it's longest y'all wins, and let's string the scream. See what they did there? They immediately gamified the whole activity. This isn't just a project anymore. It's a competition, and that creates instant intrigue. So you see how all these pieces work together, right? You've got this super high-energy voiceover. You've got sound effects like twang and yell. There's the promise of a viral laugh and a really clear challenge. It's all delivered in this fast-paced montage, and for a kid, well, it's a perfect storm of sensory hooks. It's almost impossible to scroll past. Okay, so the hook got them in the door. Awesome. But how do you actually keep them there? Well, the answer is what we're calling the DIY core loop. It's this simple, hands-on activity that becomes the real engagement engine for the entire video. Now, the prank kit is just genius in its simplicity. We're talking 2 plastic or paper cups, a long string, and a pin. That's it. These are things you probably have in your house right now. And that's a very deliberate choice, right? It removes any barrier to getting started. And they even managed to gamify the materials with that key phrase, longer string equals bigger prank. It's already encouraging kids to think bigger. The whole process is broken down into 4 super simple, really satisfying steps. First, you poke and thread, the basic build. Then you do a little whisper test, which proves that, hey, this thing actually works. That's a great little win. Then comes the climax, the long-distance scream. And finally, you get these pro-prank twists, which encourage you to get creative and do it all over again. It's a perfect loop that's just incredibly easy for a kid to follow. Okay, and this is where things get really, really clever. These pro-prank suggestions, they're basically a built-in replayability mechanic. The video isn't just showing you a prank, it's handing you a platform. It's an open invitation for you, the viewer, to one-up the original, to innovate, and to create your very own shareable content based on this simple idea. So at this point, we have a great hook and a really engaging activity. But there are 2 hidden layers here that elevate this whole thing way beyond just a simple craft video. We're talking about a little bit of stealth education and a seriously powerful engine for virality. The script is so clever because it totally anticipates the next logical question. After all the fun and the screaming, it pivots. It asks, but why does it actually work? And without one simple question, it shifts from pure entertainment to a moment of genuine learning. And here's the answer. It's a simple, perfectly digestible little science lesson about how a vibration telephone works. This is what you'd call stealth education. It adds this awesome layer of substance, right? It creates that cool aha moment for kids, and maybe just as importantly, it gives the content a stamp of educational approval for any parents who might be watching. So what's the ultimate purpose of all this? Well, the prank is the hook, but sharing is the goal. The entire video is an engine, and it's designed from the ground up to produce likes, comments, and shares, all to fuel the channel's growth. Just take a look at the outro.
It's not just one call to action. It's a rapid-fire sequence of 5 different requests. They ask you to comment your longest distance, film your prank and tag them, give a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Wow, this covers basically every possible way to engage on the platform, which maximizes the chance that a viewer will do at least one of those things. And that, of course, signals to the algorithm that this is valuable content.
Okay, so let's put all of these pieces back together now. We've dissected the prank, we've looked at all the components, so now let's look at the complete, repeatable formula that really makes it so successful.
So here it is, the SparkQuarkKids formula. It's basically the blueprint for viral kids content. You have the hook to grab attention fast, the core loop to drive participation, the plus factor, like that little science lesson, to add value, and the engine to fuel virality with all those calls to action. And the key thing is, nothing here is accidental. Every single part of this script serves one of these strategic purposes.
Ultimately, this thing wasn't just some lucky viral hit. No way. It's the product of a very intentional formula. And it boils down to 3 words: simple, replicable, and shareable. This is pretty much the blueprint for how modern digital play is engineered. And all of this leaves us with a really crucial question, doesn't it? As content gets more and more optimized to capture our attention, what does this kind of highly engineered viral play suggest about the future of childhood? For that spontaneous, unstructured kind of creativity. It's a fascinating and, I think, a really important question to think about. Thanks for tuning in.